Whether teenagers are spending their time on it or analyzing it in class, social media has an omnipresence, almost to the point of being synonymous with internet usage. With the amount of time that this generation devotes to social media, it's no wonder that a widespread standard of beauty is considered the norm. Hi, I'm Sydney Remley, and these are my colleagues.
Bridget Hurst,
Monica Knutson,
Layla Harris,
and Taylor Jacobson. Our question is, to what extent has social media usage in the United States impacted the social norms of beauty among different high school genders? Our claim is that social media usage in the United States has allowed beauty standards to be perpetuated, hurting teenagers' body image. The causes of this include a shift in availability of media, and it has led to cyberbullying, companies taking advantage of consumers' insecurities, and a movement of body positivity in an attempt to counter the standard of beauty for young girls.
In the past, body standards and artwork could not be as impactful as those perpetuated on social media today. Barry Gunter, a media research specialist, explains that the art of the past is not a record of some truth of the past, but of what might have been thought deserving of being painted. Female subjects in art can only show the ideal of the artist. The model must be deemed worth painting by the artist, and the final image, like these images, it's not necessarily true to the real appearance of the model. Thus, when we look at art from the past, and perhaps when people saw these works in the past, it is impossible to know the real appearance of the model, much less compare oneself to her. From the time before photography to the modern day, media is constantly becoming more accessible, and a more global standard of beauty is created. Health journalist Jacqueline Howard notes that as slender women's bodies started to appear in magazines in the mid-1920s, an epidemic of eating disorders also occurred among young women. Magazines with depictions of the female body, much like this one, having that impact demonstrates that body image has always been impacted by media and standards of the time. In that time, it was only possible to see a few women in a magazine, but with the shift to social media, users are bombarded with images of countless women that fit a standard one way or another. Increased exposure means more opportunities for young women to compare themselves to others.
as images of people who fit the mold are spread constantly, the impact social media has on the LGBT community is unfavorable. Alan Moses has stated, clear and consistent evidence that shows LGBT youth are more likely to experience bullying, including in-person bullying and cyberbullying. Moses also researched a study that found 60% of suicides among straight teens and 53% among LGBTQ youth occur between ages 17 and 19. Among straight teens, 1/3 of the suicides occur between 14 and 16, compared to the 38% among LGBTQ youth. 8% of suicides involving straight youth occur between 10 and 13 years of age, compared to the 9% of LGBTQ youth. States have created new laws in an effort to prevent cyberbullying. However, this cannot prevent all the hatred. Bonnie Morris from George Washington University states that on June 12, 2016, the popular gay club Pulse in Orlando was the site of a mass shooting by one assailant, with at least 49 dead and another 50 injured. Social media has allowed both international and domestic terrorists to gain information about people, from their race to their gender, where they work, and many other things. Teens can be very vulnerable because they don't think about what they're posting is being seen by other people.
With more and more people putting their information out on social media and often posting pictures of themselves, there has been a constant increase in sales in the beauty industry. Promoting products used to help someone reach the beauty standards they are expected to meet has become simpler for companies due to the frequent use of social media by their targeted demographic, often teenagers and young adults who have more easily influenced minds. Social media is global, so American users have to remember that we are being influenced by many other cultures. Not only is our youth being given a standard of beauty within their own country, but others around the world can also contribute to this, creating a widespread web of purchases and insecurities within the beauty world. A good example of this is in Korea. After having visited Korea, an American interviewing for Toptil Finance states, "I was surprised because all Korean women looked the same. In the US, we have a strong sense of diversity and individuality, but if that wasn't the case, we might all end up purchasing the same clothing and beauty products. In Korea, they even often use cosmetic surgery to change their appearance to look more like the masses. Americans are no stranger to the cosmetic surgery industry, and this industry is a large contributor to those spending money to meet the standards set out for them by peers and even those across the globe.
Teenagers' main criterion for choosing profile photographs is a belief that they look good in them. According to a study conducted in the US among young adults, both genders perceive that girls place more emphasis than boys on selecting pictures in which they are attractive. Young ladies feel the need to put pressure on themselves based on their appearance, and this can be due to the negative influence of models and celebrities on social media with body image. Being able to put yourself out there for the world to see can be tough, which is why teens take time and care to look their best in every image. This is an issue that must be improved on because we want the next generation of young adults to be able to embrace themselves, no matter the standard of beauty. As you can see, 95% of teens between the age of 12 and 17 use social media. It is troubling that there are so many people in this impressionable age group on social media while there are only 78% of adults. It is mainly up to this age group to promote body positivity, and with how much information they are taking in at this age, it can be difficult to focus on positivity. Recently, young TikTok influencers such as Charli D'Amelio, Brooklyn, and Sienna May have been promoting body positivity every chance they get. The future is still unknown and insecurities are hard to push away, but if we can work as a whole, we can soon change the standard of beauty.
Social media can also be used as a platform for female athletes to express their opinions about their body freely. Journalist Diane Cho shares an interview about U.S. national team gymnast Gabrielle Douglas and her mother, who explained how Serena Williams has impacted her life. Douglas's mom shared, Gabrielle saw the elegance with which Serena Williams handled all the negative criticism of her own body. She said it was liberating for my daughter to see that. She also said, I don't have to apologize to anyone about my body. My body is beautiful. Gabrielle Douglas admired Serena Williams' strength to see through all the negative comments and be confident in who she was. Female athletes should never let anyone make them feel insecure about the way they look because they are too muscular or bulky. They should embrace their body because it has shaped who they are today. When younger girls see posts on body positivity or hear their role models speak about body standards, it can have a major impact about the way they view themselves. When Serena Williams says, I'm going to influence a girl who does look like me and I want her to feel good about herself, it is very powerful and gives reassurance to young females who may feel insecure about their body. This can set the tone for other females and advocates for body positivity to express themselves and not let anyone influence their body image. Thank you.